Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I decided I was going to do a sort of like a faith Q&A because I get a lot of questions and like a lot of requests to do more faith related videos. And I am totally down to do them. They're just kind of like those like videos where I'm like, okay, I'm totally down to do it, but like what exactly do you want to see? Because I like never know. Like there's so much you can talk about, so I'm like, what do you guys even really want to know? So I decided to just go ahead and have you guys ask me questions on my Instagram based on faith. These might be very like sporadic because I have not looked at any of these, so I'm just going to go ahead and hop right into it. The very first question is, when did you start to believe in God? I have always believed in God. So I grew up in a very, like I said, a very Catholic family, and yeah, so I've always believed in God. I got saved my junior year of college. Do your friends encourage your faith? Well, it's sort of torn because I do have some friends that like are like, hey, like let's go to church, or like they'll just like talk to me about like, you know, whatever, and they'll be like, I'll pray for you, whatever. So they absolutely encourage my faith. I have other ones where I just kind of just don't even talk about it, or they know that I'm religious and we just kind of like avoid the topic. All of my friends are super okay with me being like religious and me having my faith. Like I don't have any friends that judge me for it or like treat me any differently. How do you handle friends that aren't Christians? I want to actually make a whole video on like how to witness to non-Christians or like your friends that aren't Christians. But how do I handle friends that aren't Christians? I just sort of feel it out, and if they really like just don't believe in God and they have no interest in going to church with you, like you just sort of have to let it be. And I'll talk about that in a video that's going to be coming up really soon. But, you know, if you notice that your friend, you know, is very open to God or has a very shallow relationship with God, there's still, you know, hope and possibility. So I just say a simple like, hey, do you want to come to church with me? That, I don't think people understand. The invite is so amazing. They could say yes, and your invite could be the reason why they came to God. Like that's just so crazy to me. So I think people overlook just like a simple like, hey, do you want to come to church with me? And you know what, if they decide that they don't like it and that they don't want to be a Christian, like at the end of the day, God gave us will, and you never want to force it down someone's throat. So I guess that's just how I handle it. What is your favorite book in the Bible and why? Mine is 100% Job, just because I had a very similar experience with Job. Like in my testimony, I talk about like how like I was so high up there, like I thought I had the world. I was like, I had this amazing boyfriend and I was president of all these organizations on campus, and I had basically like I had the great grades, I had a great resume, I had an amazing, like I had my dream internship, and just like Job, he had the world, and you know, and God put him through a trial and was like, you know what, let's see what his faith really is. So he let Satan just kind of work his ugly magic. Like I just feel like I relate to Job so much in that, where like Job just kind of had it all, and then at 1 minute God wanted to test him. And I feel like that's sort of what happened to me, but in my own story, God found me. Like it wasn't like he was testing me obviously, but he found me in that low moment where you have everything and then you lose it all. How old were you when you were saved? I can't remember if I already answered this, but I would say I was 20. Yeah, I was a junior in college. What is the most difficult part about being a Christian? I would say it definitely limits the amount of guys that you can like talk to, I guess, just because I'm so picky and I want a guy who's also a Christian, and I want a guy who just like has Jesus on his heart all the time, and so it makes it harder for me to find someone, but I know when I do find him, it's gonna be like perfect. In your journey of following after God, did you run into any trials? Absolutely, like 100%. You know, I feel like God tempts us all the time, you know, when he puts us through trials, and I think my trial was, you know, through my depression. So absolutely I go through trials. How do you keep your faith when you have unfaithful friends? I think it is so important to have at least one friend that is a Christian. Like you have to have at least one friend that's a Christian. Just because you want that one friend that you go to church with on Sundays, you want that one friend that is just like you are like your ride or die, like you guys like go to Dunkin' after church or whatever, like someone to keep you accountable, and someone that whenever you're having doubts, you know, they understand that God is walking beside you. God is putting you through a trial. Like, it's so important to have at least one person in your life that understands that, because if you don't, you're gonna have friends like just like buying you bottles of wine and like buying you chocolate instead of being like, let me pray for you. I go to a small school and it's hard to find friends with the same beliefs as me. Any advice? That's where I would just say, get into your church. Like, get into your church, make friends, get into like a small group, get into a youth group, whatever it is, and get at least one friend that is a Christian. It is totally fine to have friends that are not Christians. Whenever I was like becoming a Christian, a lot of my friends were Christians, but now I would say a lot of my friends and the people that are around me are not Christians. But I think it's just so important, if you're struggling with keeping your faith, you need that one person. So once again, it says, how do you stay true to your faith when everyone around you isn't religious? You can read your Bible. I love listening to like the audio version on the Bible app. You can watch videos. I'm definitely more of a visual person. You might not have a friend that, like a personal friend that is religious, but maybe you can start watching YouTubers that are religious. And for me, like Janine Amapolo was like my girl, and she was like my Christian friend, even though like she has no idea who I am. How do you make time for quiet time while you're a full-time student? So that is definitely hard, but you can definitely find time in your schedule. You can go to the library, you can, for me, I loved going to coffee shops on Saturdays. So on Saturdays, like my two times that I love to pray were Saturday mornings at a coffee shop, or at night while I'm laying in bed. So those were like my two favorite times. And I think if you just find a place, it could even be like a bench or whatever it is, like find a place that's right for you and just try to dedicate like an hour a week or whatever you want to do. Do you think Christians should dress like the world? Okay. So I have a big issue with modesty. So I see both sides of the argument. I understand that you are supposed to represent God. I totally get that. Like, you are made in the image of God. So when someone sees you, are they going to see someone that is holy? I completely get that. On the other side, I feel like a lot of people argue and they're like, well,
if you dress a certain way, men are going to fall into lust and you need to help your brothers out.
What? Like, coming from like a feminist, which by the way, feminist is not a bad term. It just means that you think that like women should have equal rights. And as of right now, I think we do. But like, I just feel like, no, I am not going to dress well just because some guy might see my shoulders and be like, and just start lusting. What? No, like that's outrageous. I'm sorry. That's just my own opinion. So I'm kind of torn in the middle. Like, I just kind of wear what I want to wear. It's not like I don't wear anything slutty. You know what I mean? Like, I think just dressing classy and understanding like when someone sees you, would they expect that you're a Christian? Just think about it that way. Like, if they see you in a full-on, like, lacy, like, lingerie with, like, some high-waisted jeans or whatever it is. Actually, that could be really cute. But, like, whatever it is, like, would they believe that you're a Christian? Is basically just kind of how that's my rule of thumb. Have you ever had any problems staying pure until marriage? If so, what were they? Honestly, no. If anything, I just felt in my past relationship that I was extremely pressured. So that would be my only really struggle, is I felt like he was like hardcore pressuring me, and I felt the whole time that I just felt so pressured. So I feel like that would be like the only struggle I've actually ever dealt with. Do you find it easy to trust in God? That is a loaded question, because this is so weird, but recently I've been feeling like God, just being like honest with you guys and just talking, is recently I've been feeling like God's been telling me to quit my job. Like, it sounds so crazy, but I feel like something in me, like I feel like God is telling me like, quit your job, do YouTube, I will provide. And it's weird, like I have these dreams of me like taking this leap, or I'm falling out of an airplane, or I'm falling out of a helicopter, or I'm getting pushed off the Santa Monica Pier, but like in my dream, it's a bridge connecting, I'm not even kidding, Pennsylvania and Los Angeles, and it's on this gigantic bridge. Like, I don't know, I keep having these dreams, like people keep popping into my life, so like, half me like really wants to like trust in God, but then again you have to be smart in your timing, so like I've just been praying about it a lot. So I mean, it can be hard to trust God in certain moments, like something so big like quitting your job. Like, no, I love my job, I don't want to quit, but like it's weird but you also have to be careful with that, because at times sometimes Satan will tell you what will plant something in your head, and then you'll do it and you'll just fall into the spiral of like, you know what I mean? So I just want to make sure like that's 100% what God is telling me. So I just keep praying every night, and I'm saying like, God, I will do 100% what you want me to do, but you need to tell me what I need to do, and please make it clear to me. So do I think it's easy to trust in God? Yeah, in some things. Other things, you know, when it's very, very dramatic, yeah, like you just have to spend a little bit more time on it. Are you Catholic or are you Protestant? I get tons and tons of questions asking me, are you Christian or are you Catholic? And I'm in a very weird state right now. I'm in a very weird, very, very weird state right now. Like I don't even know. Like, there's so many things that I believe in the Catholic Church, and there's so many things I believe in non-denomination, and I'm like stuck in this awkward in-between where right now I'm still trying to figure out my own faith. So that kind of makes it hard whenever people are asking me faith-related questions, because I am currently reading the Bible and I'm trying to figure out what is right, what do I believe. I've been taught my entire life these Catholic values, and for once in my life, I'm actually starting to question, like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? But then I look at the Christian, I'm like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And so right now I'm kind of in this sticky in-between where like I'm doing a lot of research, and I will definitely let you guys know later on whether I'm Catholic or whether I'm Christian. Are you interested in international missions? Honestly, yes, that would be so cool. I would love that. Personally, I don't know how I would ever be able to do that. But I would absolutely love it. Like, I don't know how I would get the time off work to do anything like that, but oh my gosh, absolutely. I get so jealous of the people that go to the Dominican Republic because I want to so bad. So this is sort of just going to be the last question. So it says, I love the way that you talk about religion. What kind of church do you go to now? And like I said, I'm kind of in between two different like churches, but I currently go to a non-denominational church. It is an alliance church, and I love it. I am so happy. I love it so much. But what sucks is I'm actually moving soon, so that means that like I'm gonna have to find like a whole new church. So I don't know, I'm confident I'll be able to find a new one, but it's just gonna take a little bit of time. All right, so that is the end of my Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I get asked all the time to do like different faith videos, and it can be kind of hard to figure out like ideas of like what I wanna do. So if you have any requests, definitely be sure to go ahead, leave them down in the comments. I'm gonna end the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later. Bye!